Hello, welcome back, guys. I just want to talk to you a little bit before we dive into this episode. This episode has a lot of tools for you. So I just wanted to kind of say, if you're in a space where you can get a piece of paper and a pen to jot some things down, I highly recommend it. If you're in the car, just kind of think about the things that really stood out to you. And when you get to a place where you can write things down, I really would. For myself, when I write something down, I really feel like it resonates with me. It clicks. So I just wanted to throw that in there and just give you that up front so you can be prepared. So Michael dives into a lot of different perspectives. So I just want you to think about how this perspective will fit into what you do, right? So like in your business, how can you take these tools and make them your own? And I really want you to think about, what we talk about on this podcast is elevating yourself. It's continuously elevating who you are as a beauty professional. So how you show up, how you come to work, and how you prepare yourself for each and every client. So I want you to really think about that. It's really all about the client experience. We're going to talk about add-ons, and I want that to be something too. So really think about adding on to your services and why that's so important. So at the end of this podcast, I kind of tie that all together and give you the perspective that I think you need. I think we all get caught up on the dollar amount of things, and we don't see the value in add-ons. The value of you. You are the professional. You are so educated, and you are so brilliant, and you are so smart at what you do. You have this amazing craft. Whether you're in the aesthetics room or you're behind a chair, you have this amazing ability to make people feel good. So give them the absolute best experience that you possibly can. And that is what you're going to get out of this podcast. So listen, just kind of take it all in. And like I said, write down the things that really resonate with you. I think you're going to really find a lot of value in it. So thank you, and keep staying connected.
That answer to that question has profoundly changed, certainly in the last couple of years, and continues to change even more as we move into what I'm going to call the post-pandemic era. Because if we would have the same conversation prior to 2020, 2018, 2017, right, we would say, yeah, you really better check your expectations, because even the top 20 or the shakers and movers, it takes a good, fill in the blank. Does it take 2 years? Does it take 3-4 years? I don't want to get into what it used to take. Right. Because we can get bogged down in the analysis. But here's what I would say. Today, whatever the answer was then, it's less time now. So, like, time is collapsing. The time it takes to get a full book, at least that's been my experience as I'm watching, the shakers and movers, whatever we want to call them, the top 20, the Jedis that are coming into the business. It's taking them less time to get whatever you want to call it, busy, a full book, but there's still some time there. And to your last point, to the degree that you're doing the necessary work, you're going to collapse time. So if you just come in and go, okay, I'm, here we go, here I am. Yeah. You'll win the award for naivety. So that we have available today digital technologies, social digital technologies that, while they've been around arguably for, you know, the last decade or so,
Mhm.
how much those technologies have evolved in just the last year, never mind few years. I'm talking about whether we're talking about Instagram, whether we're talking about TikTok. So for somebody to even be speaking about those platforms as they were 2 years ago, don't look now, but you're going to embarrass yourself.
Mhm.
There's just newer features, bells and whistles. Now, having said that, do you know where they are? Can you get to them? Once you find them, how skillful are you at using them? Because they're all part of, the word today is creating content.
Yeah.
Um, Assuming that you can do that, okay, great. So, you're either growing or you're not. You're either growing in your expectations and you're not. And if the content tells me that okay, you understand how to drive the car, the
Mhm.
Instagram car, and you're still not busy, let's go into your back room, your back office of Instagram, and let's take a peek at not just how many followers you have, but how many followers are current clients, how many followers are potential clients, and what are you doing to engage both of those communities? How much time and energy of your, what we used to call downtime,
Yeah.
are you putting into that? To me, when you go, yeah, if you're willing to put in the work,
Mhm.
what I just gave you, I think, is kind of like the newest work order today. That answer would not have been the answer I just gave you 2, 3 years ago.
The mind is so creative, and it just is catchy, and it's exciting, and it's new. And so I love like that whole swing of things, because it does give, and it also shines like a different perspective on who the person is as a service provider too. And it kind of like engages the client to feel a little bit more comfortable with them.
Yeah, I just one of the opportunities, it's the newest opportunity for me, and I'm just so grateful for it. I now am putting a substantial amount of my bandwidth in the schools, cosmetology schools, where those are the gateway. That's kind of like your first gateway into the business. And I've always been affiliated with schools, but I've never had the time and energy to like be on site and
Yeah.
with not only students, but students that are, let's go over in that room, and that's the fundamental basic room. And okay, then let's go out in the salon area, and where are the people that have 50 hours left to people that they're in on their first 100 hours on the floor, and everything in between, and to be able to watch them, work with them, talk with them, listen to them. And it's interesting because in fundamentals today, you go, has fundamental classes today changed any more than they have the last 2 or 3 decades? I would say they're the same, with one profound exception, that when you're in fundamentals for, whatever it is, 60 days, a few hundred hours, your social media is now like you set up your page, like
Yeah.
you set up your page in the first week of school, your Instagram page or your TikTok page, and you do your first post, and it's nothing more than a selfie that says, "Hi, I'm just enrolled, and I'm going to document my journey, and I hope that I'll be on the floor in January," and and then all of a sudden they're starting to practice what you practiced in fundamentals, and they're beginning to document that, and that's content. And you'll hear frequently students that are still in fundamentals, "Oh my God, somebody just wanted to started following me and wanted to know when I was going to be on the floor, or or what that is," and I get to watch that. and I
Yeah.
get to watch, and now I can be one of the first people that post on the first, comment on the first post,
I
and
love
watch this evolution take place. And now in school, when you're in fundamentals, oh, by the way, you're, 6, 7 weeks before you're ready to go on the floor. But in the meantime,
it.
your goal is to have 20 referrals
I love it.
booked with you before you go on the floor. And they don't say that it's a prerequisite to getting on the floor, but they kind of sort of do. And if you need some help, we'll help you. Well, you see people that are so good at this that I just interviewed somebody yesterday that had 48 referrals in their first month on the floor.
Yeah.
So, this is how rapidly the business is changing, and this is what's going to be coming at us. And you look at that student's page with 500 hours, 600 hours in, 700 hours in, with 700 more hours to go. They've got 300 or 400 followers. You look at their content and you couldn't tell by looking that they're 700 hours into beauty school. They've got, frankly, a better presence than at least 50% of the people that are in the business behind the chair now. So, so when somebody is saying, what do you say to all these young people that first thing I want to do is I need to look at their page, and then I'll answer accordingly, because we have two communities now, the people that are in that game and those that are kind of in the classic game that have had little to no teaching on it, never mind, coaching, etc. Does that
Oh my gosh, the students that get excited about what they do, it just shows in their social media. You can just tell that they're so excited about what they do, and um, it comes out that way. And I feel like that's what starts that connection. And then they just continue to keep building, which I love seeing that. Oh my gosh. I mean, to start it in school, like, hello.
I mean, I'm interviewing, as you know, because you follow me,
You're so good at this.
students that are having $5,000 months in service and $800-900 months in retail. And I'm I mean, you manage your help your company's brand, and
Yeah.
how many of your people, how long it takes to get to that point once you've been started. And I'm seeing this now. It's not the norm by no stretch of imagination, but I would certainly call it the top 10%, top 5%. And
Absolutely.
it's interesting because as I interview them, I see the bar continuing to be raised. Like, whoever was, the Jedi Master 3 months ago, 4 months ago, when I started this, you have newer masters that are, a couple $100 ahead of them, because students, when you're in school, you have nothing. I can be bored, or, oh, what is that? Wow, I'm going to see if I can beat that. And so
Yeah.
it's just been a very inspiring. Clients are now showing up in two different ways. The way that they've always shown up, when they're a first time visit.
Mhm.
So in some way, shape, or form, they end up on someone's appointment book. And then we begin, the consultation.
Mhm.
And the consultation today, it mirrors the traditional consultation. You sat down, there was an opening statement, there was some inquiry, you asked some questions. And so it's not like that went away. But a few years ago, if there were pictures involved in the conversation, they were a lookbook, maybe. And frankly, many consultations were done without any kind of visual aid like a lookbook. It was just some inquiry, you had a form, you took some notes, and then away
Yeah.
we go. Today, the classic consultation is either the first time client brings in a piece of content.
Mhm.
Sometimes it's off the page of the person that's serving them. Sometimes it's not. It's some random. I saw this on whatever platform
Yeah.
it was, Pinterest,
Pinterest.
Instagram, wherever.
Yeah.
And here I am. I've got something that I'm really interested in, but I don't know if I can wear it. And then you can see me, right? I'm a client. Now look at me. Here's this. So can you do this? And and then the conversation goes around, and it really has simplified to some degree consultation, because now we can cut to the chase. Oh, yes, you know what? I think we can. Here would be the specific services
Yeah.
that you're going to need today if you want to go from where you're at now to this picture. So if we want to make this kind of a one-stop shop, here are, and this is what you can expect, how much time you're going to need to be with me today, and here's what you can expect for your investment.
Yeah.
That piece has simplified, shortened a consultation. So so we would say this is kind of a newer way to the classic consultation.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of stress in that we took for granted, because when you think about it, Ashley, you're having that conversation inside of a 10-minute window. That's a lot of conversation to have, and we always took it for granted being behind the chair, because that's all we had. Like
Right.
this, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But today, there now is there's a visit before the visit that happens, and I could say online, and but I go, it happens primarily through direct messaging between the person that's eventually going to be the client that sits in your chair, and whether it's a student or a stylist. And it usually happens because this potential client is either heard about Ashley from a friend that Ashley has served, but this potential client goes to Ashley's page, and if Ashley's in the game, she's basically shopping on your page. She's like,
Right.
oh my God, find something that she loves, DMs you out of the blue. Hi, I'm Carol's friend, and I saw, and sometimes she'll actually see Carol's picture. Oh my God, that's my friend. There's that. But
Yeah.
she DMs you a screen grab of your content. Then she DMs you a selfie. And don't look now, but we're having the same conversation on a DM Instagram platform as we would have in real time, because now you're a stylist. You go, okay, I get it. I can now see this client, and I can see what she wants. And now, oh, sure, and so you can, I just follow the yellow brick road, with one profound exception. You're not getting that handled in a 10-minute window.
Yeah.
And it's safer to text than it is to talk, never mind be face to face. There's bonding going on, digital bonding. So there is so much. I'm getting goosebumps right now because of the profundity of what I'm saying, that's rapidly trending. And we now can see that when the client eventually shows up for what we used to call the first time visit, they're so much more relaxed.
Yeah.
The hairdresser is relaxed because we've spent half an hour or so, not in nonstop 30 minutes, but this conversation might have happened over a day or so, when we had some time, and the client wasn't rushed. They could think about what they said. They didn't feel put on the spot. And so when the client does show up, it's like both the client and the stylist it's like, oh my God, we're seeing each other.
It's exciting.
It's almost like this is what used to be called the first visit, now feels like it's been the second or third visit. Which one of those two ways of showing up is in both the best interest of the client and the stylist.
Right.
And hands down, oh my God, I'll do the digital any day because both of us have time to think about what we're going to do. I mean, I'm seeing now students, once the client books and they're coming in tomorrow, the students having conversations with the educator about what products I can present. And so it's fundamentally changed
Yeah.
the what used to be called first time visit. And I think that this conversation is on the beginning of trending. I don't know that I would call it trending yet, but certainly it's well on its way. And stylists that are in the salon that are not embracing some variation of this,
Right.
they're just not going to have the size of tickets
Right.
showing up. And this conversation is how do you add on? Like the consultation is always about add on, and like what, and this digital consultation is like add on steroids or to the 10th power. So I don't know how much of this is making sense to you, but as you
I
can
love
see,
it.
I'm very passionate about it.
Oh, I know. I love it. I'm glad that you're so passionate about it. I think that it also elevates the client experience like tenfold.
Oh,
I mean, yeah, you care so much about them. And even if you have clients that you had in your chair for a long time and you just like DM them out of the blue, hey, see that you're coming in. I'm so excited. I've been thinking about you. And hey, these are some things I was thinking about doing next time. I mean, I just love that. Like,
oh,
just
yeah,
to,
yeah. So to your point, you used the word experience, and I just
yeah.
did a reels that kind of blew up my page a couple of days ago on, value is the difference between the price a client is paying for whatever they're getting and the experience that
Mm-hmm.
they have from getting all of that. So to the degree that that experience of the service is equal to or greater than what they're paying, we call that value.
Right.
And or the value added experience. So it was interesting because I had a few questions called like, okay, so how can I start adding what kinds of experiences can I start bringing into my client process? And don't look now, but we've been having this conversation for what is it, the last 25 minutes is,
Yeah.
well, what kind of experience does your client have when they go to your Instagram page? If and when the day comes where there are some change ups in your game, here would be some good things to know so that you at least have a little bit of a
Yeah.
running start on how you need to, I'm going to call it reimagine or reinvent, right? What you're doing. And there, that begins to happen when your clients that you've been doing forever come in and begin inquiring about the things you and I are talking about in this podcast,
Yes.
because those experiences to a client sound interesting, sound
Yes.
pleasurable, sound
That
new.
that is 1000% what I'm talking about. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So it's going to be a veteran hairdresser's clients that are going to push them.
Mm,
That because that gets embarrassing.
yeah.
You hear it once and you kind of skirt the issue and change the subject. You start when you start hearing more of it, it's like, okay, I'm starting to feel old. I'm a hairdresser that's 30 something and it's starting, or 40 something,
Mhm.
and it's getting a little bit awkward because it's becoming apparent I'm starting to feel old, not old, but old fashioned
That's a
in
good
how
one.
I'm managing my business. So, all in the name of staying current and relevant, I take a deep breath and, okay, I need to go and do some more exploration and perhaps learn some new skills and maybe let go of a skill set that is no longer, it's basically there's not a place for it. So,
Right.
but usually that's what inspires established people is when their clients start shaking them up.
I love it. Yeah, you're right. So right. So what would you say to someone that does want to get started in this direction? And so I have two parts to this. And do you think that they need a business social media, or can they do like this combination of like I post a picture of my family at Christmas time, but yet I'm more 80% is focused on my craft.
Yeah, yeah. So, big picture first. And when I interview, like I just had this extraordinary interview last night. 45 years old,
Oh, I love it.
stylist, got in at 19. So, do the math. That's she's well into her third decade,
Yeah.
right? And doing really, really well. Reinvented, and if you go to her page, she's in the game, blah, blah, blah. But I said, so how did you make that flip? You're not the typical. And she said, there were enough younger Gen Z, the Zennial, younger
Yeah.
millennial. And she said, I just humbled myself and went to them, and they've been my tutor, my coach.
Oh,
And they're not coaching me on, you know they're not my life coach,
right.
but they certainly are working a model that I really would like to. I don't know that I want to go either or, but I want to make some room, a lot of what you see on my page is a result of
Mhm.
working with some of these, I'm going to call them 20 somethings. And she even said she's busy enough that she works with an associate or assistant, whatever you want. She said, so there's two of my tutors are actually associates. They help me, but now we have conversations where they're giving me some input and feedback about how to post this. They showed me how to work reels. They showed me. So she said, but I humbled myself. I first of all, it's humbling to just become a student again, never mind somebody else's student, and God forbid a student that is half your age. So this takes some courage. It takes some humility.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. I love that. I feel like, especially in our company, we have a lot of different age groups. So if we can, we all have something to bring to the table. So I think that that's important to
Oh,
off of
well,
each other.
now to get to your point, should we or should we not have personal content on a professional page? Should we or should we not have a business page and a personal page? And I think that the answer to all of your questions is yes, and so there's many people that have personal and business,
Yeah.
or they'll have a private page for their personal, because they want to be very, very conscious of who they allow into their private community. Their buddies, their family, their friends. They don't want to be stalked,
Mhm.
and they certainly perhaps want to keep that part of their life private from their clients.
Yeah.
And then, but you'll actually, some of that content you'll find on their business page. From time to time, you'll see a personal post on their business page just to let primarily their clients know, not so much new clients, but clients know enough that they're human.
Right.
But they do it with discretion.
Mhm.
And so there isn't any hard, fast rules there, but through working with people, you kind of come into your own rhythm, your own, the cloth you're cut from, and you find your own voice. But to me, those are more minor issues. If you get too caught up in that, you get analysis paralysis. the where the rubber really meets the road is the conversation you and I've been having before, this last couple of minutes or so.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I love that. That's awesome. It gives people different perspectives because I
Yeah.
think that they do get caught up in that. And
Yes.
I also think having too many different pages is
Yeah.
really hard to juggle, especially if you're just starting out. So just kind of keep it simple at first. And
Yeah. And when you have a private page, you don't have to concern yourself with how many times a day should I be posting? It's like you could post when you want to, and when you don't, you won't.
right.
But a business page is you want just be posting enough so that when new people
Hmm.
come to your page, they can see that your content is relatively fresh.
Hmm.
And because those are the people that eventually are going to be DMing you
Right.
or whatever to make an appointment with you.
Yeah. That's awesome. Oh my gosh. I love this conversation.
Yeah, it's exciting because it really is on the very front edge of the curve. It's what's happening, it's what's coming our way, and you can procrastinate and put it off, but sooner or later you'll need to contend with it because the clients find it exciting. They love new experiences in beauty salons. They love new looks and new services, but it's what do they get with looks and services is experiences. And at the end of the day, it's all about how fresh, how new, how surprising was the experiences. It's the experience that clients don't expect to get
Yeah.
that they enjoy the most, that really brings them back. So anyway.
Oh my goodness. So what did I tell you? I knew you would get a lot of value out of that. And so as I started this podcast, I told you that you were going to have a lot of tools and a lot of different perspective. And I hope that you really got that because, again, I cannot say this enough. You guys are so valuable. You have so much value in yourself. And I think if we don't take that time to invest in ourselves and create that experience for the client, what is that saying about you? You have the ability to create these amazing looks. I mean, oh my goodness, I see the things that you guys put out and it's incredible. So I think you're thinking about this in a different way. So these add-ons, number one, is giving your client the absolute best experience possible. Not giving them the option to say yes or no to the add-ons, again, is a disservice because you have this toolbox that you can use to the best of your ability to create this amazing experience to continue to grow yourself and invest in yourself and show them how valuable you really are. So I want you to think about that perspective. And, giving them the options, it's up to them. But you're the one that can dictate and really give them those options and show them what that is. Whatever it is. If you're in the aesthetics room, again, like add-ons with facials and peels and all of these things, you're giving them an experience, again, that they need, they deserve. Just like you have so much education, you are very valuable and you deserve that too. So invest in yourself every single client, every single time. Give them the absolute best maximum client experience that you possibly can, and you just can't help but grow. So, whether that's, starting the consultation or the conversation, before they come in for their next appointment, that is setting them up and yourself up for success. So giving them little nuggets to be excited about for that next visit, that is huge. So start believing in yourself, guys. Start really looking in the mirror and telling yourself, oh my goodness, I am so valuable. I am so creative. I have so much to give my clients that I deserve to continue to elevate that service. Look at it that way. You can't help but be successful if you look at it that way. I'm so proud of each and every one of you. I'm so thankful that you guys continue to listen. And I really hope that you got something out of this. So keep staying connected, and we'll talk soon.